Welcome back to State of Sonder. Today I have on Davion Cervantes. I met Davion at an event that my friends were throwing actually pretty recently, and we got to talking because he worked on a project with a producer that I'm a really big fan of. And then we just started talking about his music and his artistry and his background. And I was like, oh my gosh, he has to come on the podcast. And when I reached out, he was so gracious and willing. He is a musician, but he also has his hands in a lot of different things. And he's very tapped into the fashion space as well. I just had such a great time with this conversation. I think that Davion has a lot of wisdom. He's experienced a lot through life and his career, and we kind of dive into all of it. And I was just very inspired by his perspectives and just the way that he approaches and navigates the world and his life. And I think I was just like so engaged and taking bits and pieces to implement into my own life. And so I think that this was such a great conversation, and I think it was very inspiring. And Davion is such an awesome person, and I'm really excited to share his story. So I hope you enjoy. Hello, Davion. Welcome to State of Sonder.
Hello.
Hello.
Good to be here at State of Sonder.
I was so excited to have you.
Are you really?
Okay, yes, of course.
I'm excited to be here.
Yes,
actually.
of course. We had to pivot a little bit to schedule this, so I'm glad that we were able to. So just a little background of how we met was at, we threw a warehouse party. When was that actually? Like, it was only a few weeks ago, right?
Probably like a month. What's it, like a month now?
Maybe a month ago. And we threw a warehouse party in downtown. That's where I met you. I honestly was sideways that night. So.
I think a lot of people were kind of sideways. There was a lot going on. It was a vibe though.
Yeah, and like I had such a great conversation with you, so I wanted to bring you on and just kind of dig deeper, honestly. And I met you that night, so I don't know too much about your story, and I would really like to dive into that. So I guess first and foremost, like, take me through your story, like from young Davion, from you starting to pursue music, like your upbringing, your roots, like all of that. I would love to know.
Oh wow. Okay. Well, I'm from Los Angeles, California, South Central to be exact. I always got to state that. Just an inner city kid, very ambitious. I went to school out in the suburbs area, San Fernando Valley. So it allowed me to have this like contrast and balance on life and see these two different worlds, you know. So somebody who's ambitious, driven, and, you know, just floating through life trying to figure it out, you know, and keep a good balance between everything and all my experiences over the years from those two worlds, man. So
San Fernando Valley
just to sum it up,
is really far, right? Like from
it was like, it depended on traffic, probably like an hour and some change.
Oh damn!
And sometimes depending on traffic, it can be longer.
Yeah,
you know, but it was good though. I mean, you know, I had a lot better experience than I would experience in my old neighborhood, kind of out there. So it was kind of worth it for me to kind of do it, and but it was fun.
How did that happen? Like, instead of going to school, where in South Central?
So I think it was like a program. They was accepting a program from inner city kids to come out there, and I don't know if it's through testing or something, but I have an older sister who was accepted into the program. Or my mom had to know something about hear about this, and since she got accepted by default, the siblings were able to kind of navigate that. And I don't know. I just remember like being I was at Western Avenue Elementary, 4th grade, and after that I was like, "Yo, you about to start like getting shipped out to like the Valley for school." So I started catching that bus back and forth since 5th grade.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so I was like exposed like early on and kind of back and forth since I was like 9 years old.
So you talk about like kind of that contrast, right?
Yeah.
That you experience. Could you explain a little bit more about that?
Well, I mean, you know, I think the biggest part was like there's a lot more, like we had a lot more like positive, I guess, programs out like where I went to school at. Like I'm from inner city Los Angeles, so you deal with like a lot of gang culture. Not saying it's like not, you know, relevant anywhere else though, but it's a big part of, you know, gang culture started from out here and stuff like that. So dealing with that, navigating through that, just the politics of like local neighborhood stuff, and, you know, being a young male in that, it just kind of was kind of like a breathing. I got a lot of breathing room when I went to school at, kind of was able to just, you know, let loose a bit, not have to worry about so much the day to day, kind of like struggles and survival skills you got to kind of like worry about, because these are things that's actually happening that you have to take into account, in a climate like that. So, but it just balanced me out. I think it was a good balance. So
Growing up, like kind of seeing that environment, like you said, like how gang culture is like big there and things
Yeah.
like that, which yeah, that's true. Like it is kind of relevant in different cities, but growing up in an environment like that, do you feel like there was an influence upon you in any way, or did you feel like because you were removed a little bit from being able to go to school in like the suburbs and stuff, like
Yeah.
you had like that distance?
nah, it influenced me in some. I mean, a lot of them guys that was from, like my homies, like we grew up together. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard to not to be in something, not kind of have some influence by it, and because it's part of my life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? These are like I said, these are people that you in community with. Your neighbors, and you relate in a lot of the same ways, because it was ways with them that I related that when I went to school that they couldn't relate. You know what I'm saying? And vice versa, where I would go to school at, it was things about that I couldn't relate to my people with back out this way though. But it's some influence too. But it's hard not to be, but being that you're actually in it.
Yeah.
So I come from it. So
You just have like a bit of a wider
exactly,
lens.
it's just perspective. I was able to get perspective and kind of like deal with it, or know how to navigate different emotions, and just having an outlet to be able to problem solve, or
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, and just get out of that if it got to just having that perspective, the extra outlet. But yeah, you influence some ways because that's home. These are my cousins. These are my best friends. These are my brothers. You know what I'm saying? So they had different stories, and not everybody got to experience and get the exposure that I got. And then, I feel like it was my duty a lot of the times to, go and show them like, yo, this is this is a new way to kind of navigate this emotion you're feeling, like I'm in it. You know what I'm saying? So take my word from it, I'm like in it right now. So I'm somebody you probably want to, take some type of something from.
Yeah, yeah.
Being that I know your situation, I'm not just saying it to kind of say I'm better or blah, 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 but I think I have a solution for us in this issue. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
And so with music, kind of like,
Yeah.
when did that journey for you begin? Like, where did you always know you kind of wanted to pursue music? Was that something that was just really involved in your life, or did that come kind of a little bit later?
as far as like in the forefront of music, like as an artist, it was always a part of my household. Like I always dated back to like music I grew up listening to. Like I knew I wanted to probably like perform music at the level I've got to experience that and stuff like that though. But I don't know, it was just like a pastime and like therapy for me. Like my family would play music growing up, a lot of soulful stuff, but I would do a lot of spoken word, poetry stuff, and poetry slams, and so it's a lot more writing. It was like an outlet for me versus, I don't know, recording and vocalizing on tracks and stuff like that. But I guess I had an idea. I had an appreciation for music. I knew I appreciated music. I knew it was therapeutic. I knew it like got me through a lot. But a lot of the stuff was like that I experienced through it was kind of just, it just happened. You know what I'm saying? It was like new, but putting myself in that space, just trying something new. You know what I'm saying? But I always dated back to like my childhood, just kind of growing up and listening to oldies and my pops, and just going from there. And
Do you still feel like, because I actually read an article that you did, and you were kind of talking about how poetry was like your avenue into music.
Yeah.
And that started like when you were like 18 or something.
Yep.
So writing for you is kind of where
it's writing, yep.
everything happens, and
Yep.
then music goes around.
goes around,
which
yep.
is interesting, because I
Yep.
feel like a lot of people in music, sometimes it's the other way, where it's like you hear the production of the song, or you hear the like melody or the beat,
Yeah.
then you kind of write around it.
Yeah.
I mean, it goes both ways,
goes
right?
both- yeah.
But for you, you're
That's a big
very
part of it too, still for me.
you're
Yeah.
very tapped into like lyrically.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. So it was more so writing for me. I used to write a lot. English was one of my strongest subjects in school. And it was the writing for me. But I do also like a big part of like my music aspect of it. Is listening to the beats and kind of feeling the vibe of what the instruments are telling me, or like when I'm not producing my own tracks, because you can like kind of set the tone when you produce your own stuff though. But when I'm listening to other producers, or I outsource, I kind of listen to what the beat's telling me. I kind of write I kind of navigate those emotions through the instruments. But yeah, either or though. But writing first was kind of like my main thing. Is kind of just therapy, journaling, and getting these ideas off and spoken words and doing these poetry slams on Melrose and kind of making that like a thing and just taking it, elevating it from there.
Is that still something you do? Like,
I haven't done it in a while, the poetry slam, but it's something that I'm definitely, because they're still there. I just talked about it recently with a friend about revisiting the moments and kind of going back to like the grassroots of things. And it's actually something that I'm like ready like to revisit for sure within like 2026 to kind of get back into that space as far as like the poetry slams and stuff, right? Yeah, so because they're still doing the poetry slams at the spot that I would go to, and I'm like, yo, you know what, that might be.
and that's kind of like your roots, which would be nice to like kind of circle back
Yeah,
to. Yeah.
and kind of just see like where I'm at now, because I have like I've been kind of writing and jotting down like ideas and just different forms of expression and finding out different topics to talk about in creative ways that I feel like very confident about, that I'm like, you know what, this would be dope to kind of like, you know, center things around, and I want to kind of stick to it and do it. So I've been, it's in the works for sure. Like, yeah, for sure.
That's awesome. I feel like so I have a lot of like musicians and artists around me.
Yeah.
And a lot of times what I've noticed with artists is like their outlet is their work, right? And so like sometimes you don't fully know the artist until you hear their work, if that makes sense. So I'm wondering, like, are you someone who in general in life are more of like a closed off in a way person and you just speak your truth through your music, or do you feel like there is that like balance where you're pretty open?
I think I have the balance like now, you know, for the most part. But people see I'm very open, but I've kind of forced myself to kind of like play the game, you know what I'm saying, to be out there, be like social. But I think I was a lot more quiet and expressive in my music. But then there's people that, like I said, that may know me a little bit better, I'm more comfortable with, who may think the opposite, you know. So it's a little bit of both. But I like to say that I'm very personable. You know, I'm very like cautious and aware of like, I can have reservations about who I'm open to on first interaction, you know, and I can, you know, be more distant or just you know, just more weary about my situation around me, who's around me, and energy and stuff like that. So I'm very big on that.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I feel like with music, sometimes I actually had this conversation with one of my friends who's in music, and I said like sometimes I feel like with art you feel like you make the kind of best, deepest art when you're in like a vulnerable place, or like when you're going through some shit or whatever. Do you feel like that is true to you, where like most of your music is when you have been in a place of like, I don't know, like pain or like vulnerability? Or do you, because I almost feel like it's hardest to make art when you're like happy or like you're joyful. But what about you and your musicality?
I think like the vulnerability and like having the substance of my upbringing, where I come from, that's a huge part of like my artistry, and like what shaped me as an artist and connected me to the people that are connected with me. Was telling these stories and going through these things that, you know, that's really what my music is like based off of. Like I have to like, it was like I said, therapy for me. You know what I'm saying? So these moments when I was writing these songs or poetry or whatever, these are things I was actually going through in life. And my music, these are actually experiences that I'm experiencing with me and people around me. And so that's all I know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's the only thing that I know is like, yo, I got these suppressed emotions. I'm feeling this. Like, I need to do something with this. And music was, you know, that to be able to let these things out that I was experiencing, dealing with, coming up or whatever the case may be though. So vulnerability for sure has been like, you know, a thing for me. And, you know, it's really all I know.
Yeah. Is there, I guess it's like a 2-part question, but like, is there a moment in your life that you felt was very pivotal that has like kind of like changed the trajectory of your life, or like really impacted the way that you see the world? And actually, let's start with that question and then I have another one.
Yeah. So is there like one specific,
or like a moment in your life that you felt like, oh yeah, this moment really like changed me or impacted me? And maybe you don't. Maybe you don't. Maybe there's just a lot of small moments. But
Yeah,
I'm just curious.
I mean, I have a lot of those moments in like different ways though. Like I don't know if we're talking about like, I guess we're like family, or we're talking about more like career.
I guess both, like family and career. Would love to tap into
Yeah.
both.
Well, yeah, I mean, as far as like growing up and stuff like that, I think it was, well, maybe, I guess, because family, you know, family is, I talked about a lot of that stuff in my music over the years for sure. But, I had lost contact with my father for a little bit, just a short amount of time growing up. But with like best of friends, that's my dog. You know what I'm saying? So I think that'd probably be like going through like a separation part with like my parents early on was probably like one of the hardest things that kind of shaped, you know what I'm saying, like my, I guess, childhood for a little bit and kind of altered things. But that was that. As far as like outside of family stuff, I had like pivotal moments within like the music space. I guess in fashion too. I guess around like doing like a lot of work with like TDE and stuff like that, and kind of being around them guys and Kendrick and you know, doing shows and kind of navigating. So that was kind of like, I guess, breakthrough moments for me as far as like an artist. That was like, you know, put me onto another level of exposure, of production and platform, you know, just kind of outlets and like network in general.
Yeah.
That was kind of like moments. And also like, you know, through that, you know, being able to tap in with like Pharrell's brand, Billionaires Boys Club, and like, you know, being a part of that process and, you know, team and showroom, and, you know, so learning the fashion on the production level. So there's like different pivotal moments that I've had. But for family, probably I'll say the most thing that I would talk about is kind of like, because I went through a lot of different things, emotions coming up as a child.
Yeah.
With not even outside of like family parenting, it's more like in the streets being like a kid or young boy, kind of dealing with the politics of that. So you deal with those moments and emotions, and so it just varies about what it is though. But those are, I would say those are like more moments that influence my music in regard to like the separation of like my parents, kind of was a catalyst for like a lot of things in my writing, and after that, I would say my adventures were like different music entities and fashion entities is what like solidified a lot for me.
Yeah, that's huge. That's big. Like, how did you kind of get into, you know, these opportunities?
Well, like I said, a big part of it was like my network of like where I went to school at. I mean, but I played sports, and I got the whole. I guess with the whole TD thing, it was like I had homies out there who were very ambitious. You know what I'm saying? And one of my best buddies from high school, we played basketball together in high school. His father is actually a really established musician. You know, he's been around since 70s, 60s. So he's like a well-known, he's famous.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, but doing like little barbershop shows that I was doing out there and kind of getting some momentum going with that, with my High Five brand, and our other buddies were starting out their company and stuff too. So this like a collaboration and just kind of like bouncing these ideas around, and he kind of seen we were doing stuff, you know, just helped us like navigate some ideas we had with like the TDE, because this was time with Kendrick and them was just coming up. So we were all trying to find out this way to like break out to the industry with like our brands and like my music, and like just had this whole little rollout situation, you know.
Yeah.
So we had some, you know, a lot of this stuff in the industry is a lot of it is who you know instead of what you know too, in life in general. And we had a solid individual in our corner who kind of sat down and like helped us line things up.
Yeah.
But also work has to be put in first before he even would do something like that.
Right.
We were already kind of like making sure that, you know, things happen and kind of navigating these things that he kind of seen and kind of, you know, like, you know what, you know, I you know.
It was like connections, but like right time, right place,
Exactly.
the hard work, like everything kind of, the momentum was
mixed up
building.
like a lot. So I guess stuff like that, you know, then I had a couple of different little meetings, and because he's an older guy, he didn't really know about like the new hip hop and stuff coming up. He does like R&B, like soul, and kind of just that type of come up with like Michael Jackson era. He's like in that genre of stuff. But yeah, just like having these meetings and sitting down and kind of just shooting these ideas. But you know who he was kind of pay a lot of respect, you know, because the owner of TDE was a fan of him. He grew up off of him as well.
Oh, wow.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
it's like, yo,
yeah.
like, I see what y'all doing. This what your boys are doing, or whatever the case may be. Like, you know, I'm down, and you know, we kind of just took that and kind of just, made it. You know, took it from there.
Yeah.
So
you have a lot of things that you have your hands in.
Yeah.
You have like your own hi-fi enterprise,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And then I know that you also have like a basketball program. You also have
Yeah.
connection to Bricks and Wood.
Yeah.
Like, can you kind of talk about all of these different ventures of
well,
yours?
yeah. So are you talking about the different bounce? A different bounce?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So that's all in connection with Bricks and Wood. My buddy Casey, who originally started the brand, he founded Bricks and Wood.
Uh-huh.
I've known him for probably like 11 plus years. We kind of met being on the scene in LA as well.
Yeah.
You know, we got close. I have a wholesale background with fashion, you know, reasons I was involved with Billionaires Boys Club and a bunch of other brands with my old showroom. So I worked close with, I got really close to Bricks and Wood through old conversations, trying to helping Casey to kind of like navigate wholesale with the brand and kind of like helping him when he had certain questions about wholesale when he was just starting the brand out. I was kind of helping him kind of figure these things out, just teach him like the language and stuff like that. So I think more of like me being in that consulting space and at times has caused me to build like great relationships. You know what I'm saying? And that's one of the moments I believe was like a pivotal changing point for us, because we knew about each other just from like this private basketball league that we played in. So it was like everybody invited there was kind of there for a reason. You know what I'm saying? So we knew about each other, but I think it was those moments of like breaking down in like careers and navigating that kind of got us closer to where we are now in our relationship with Bricks and Wood. So I'm kind of there to kind of like help whatever my dog needs. Like he kind of steered the ship, but I've done like a lot of marketing stuff for the brand, and he recently made me the face of the New Balance shoe that dropped earlier this year for the Different Bounce program and other campaigns that I've done with him. But we kind of work close together. We've been working close together for years. You know what I'm saying? So this is kind of all like full circle moments where we're just kind of just picking up from early work that was put in years ago.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, with that, you know, but I've worked close with like a lot of brands, but I think that's more like, I guess, close to home, because I see like a lot of like, I see the vision. You know what I'm saying? And I know the story behind the brand. I know the person that's pushing the brand. It just feels good to kind of like see things early on and kind of be a part of things early on and kind of help flowers, whatever way it may work.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You put into it to get to where it's at now though. But yeah, that's shout out my dog Kate, shout out Bricks and Wood for sure. Definitely a huge staple in LA. Yeah. And somebody I work close with and I believe in, you know, even outside of my hi-fi brand. Yeah, so that's that.
Talk about your hi-fi brand. Like, how did that begin, and
well,
what is that to you? Yeah.
Yeah, that I've had the logo and brand. I'm sorry, I keep pointing to the back. I got the logo.
So it's on your shirt.
Yeah. But
I'll pop the logo in here.
Yeah, we keep doing that. But that was like another moment for me, hi-fi. That was like, yo, about legacy, like leaving something that's bigger than me. Even before I started music and writing, I had this idea with me, logo with me for all these years. Okay. So through anything that I experienced over the years, I've had hi-fi with me. You know what I'm saying? Through that, and it's HIGHFII. The FII is an acronym for Forever It Is. Oh. So it's high forever it is. It's always achieving above and beyond what's expected. That's like the whole like premise behind, you know, the brand or whatever the case may be. Though it was just something that was like, you know, yo, I want to get into this space. If I want to create something that's end up being bigger than me at the end of the day. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And branding myself as an artist, I used to go under the moniker Hi-Fi Kiddo for so many years. I know a lot of people thought it was like redundant, but it was just more of like me branding that name Hi-Fi. I want people to get familiar with the Hi-Fi aspect of it.
Yeah, I mean, it's yours. Like, it's
exactly.
Like, yeah.
So all the stuff that I was doing, the shows with Kendrick Lamar, TDE, and all them guys, and early on, and the Dom Kennedys, and all these shows I'm open, these LA guys, and I was on the Hi-Fi Kiddo. You know, so it's just been on me forever, man. So it's a lot of like nostalgia there, man, with it. There's people that grew with me with this. You know what I'm saying? To this day, that still like believe and still there, and I was able to build like this niche of people and grow with some people that believe early on. And this always was like, you know, told maybe they had limits. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe like it's just like, yo, it's just you can achieve and accomplish anything you like set your mind to.
Yeah.
You know, I know it'd be like the most like cliche, cheesy thing.
No, but it's true.
I'm heavy in that. You know
No,
what I'm saying?
yeah.
I'm big in that. Yeah, it's just something that's dear to me, man. It just been with me through everything. It kind of helped me navigate emotions. It helped me navigate through life. It's helped business relationships. People take me more serious with things. You know what I'm saying? They kind of having things structured out throughout all my, you know, endeavors and experiences. This has been like the most loyal thing to me. You know, I've had like great relationships and everything, but this has been with me through everything that I experienced.
So it's almost like you had this idea or thought of what it meant, and because like some people create a name with the idea like this is going to be my artist name or like you know, my brand name, but for you it's just like this idea and concept that is really like propelling you in every avenue of your life. Yeah.
And I think that's more. I think I'm more so been going to the rebranding process, because it used to be called Hi-Fi Entertainment. So it was kind of pushed as like an agency label, you know, to be signed under. But I think over the years, me getting more experience and talking to different like partners and on some business stuff, and you know, there's people that mentioned to me like, yo, like it's like an enterprise. You know what I'm saying? Like you've come this far. You've experienced so many different outlets. You have so much knowledge in different areas and hands-on experiences. Like this is like an enterprise, you know. And this is from like outside resources, investors, and people that's trying to come in and trying to have different ideas, and they believe in it as well. And been watching me grow as an individual, and by default, this grows with me. You know what I'm saying? Because I still keep it as relevant as I can to this day.
So when did you go from Hi-Fi Kiddo to just your
davion Cervantes? Yeah. I think I made the transition like 2017, 18. I guess being in music in that space for so long for Hi-Fi Kiddo, I think I wanted like a cleanse. Like it was so much like energy, and like Hi-Fi Kiddo was like when I started music, like I've done everything that I've experienced through that, even through my transitions with big labels, and it was the cleanse that I needed. You know, I've experienced so much under that name, and people call me Kiddo for sure. Like my homies on my block know me as Kiddo. You know, a lot of guys know me as Kiddo, but I think I was like dealing with so much, and even with the label at the time with TDE, and it was so much internal stuff happening, and these transitional moments, and it was just time for this to shed that skin, you know, and kind of like, not saying I wasn't true to my essence as an artist though, but like I want to really, really dive deep into myself and like really like give people like the full me. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, and was to come after that. So that's where the name change came from. And it just I think it was just time though. Like to be 30, I mean people still call me Kiddo. Some of my homies know me as Kiddo though, but it was kind of like, I think davion Cervantes is a pretty cool name too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It got some history behind it. Cervantes is my great grandfather's first name, and he passed the same day and year that I was born.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so same day and year. So my birthday and year is his passing. So he passed early on. I was born later, and I got his name and stuff like that. He's from Belize. Yeah, so it's just more tapping more into my roots with that, and kind of, you know, my family on that side, and just paying homage and to the people that kind of help shape and navigate my character, and you know, overall and stuff like that, man. So
how do you feel like your music kind of has changed from that time when you were Kiddo to now?
Yeah, I think I'm a lot more selective about like topics I choose to talk about. Like I think I realize now that like I'm able to like reach people. You know what I'm saying? Like having like a network of like, I think earlier then, like I'm not saying it's bad to be as emotional, but I was kind of just like, I'm able to control like my narratives more as far as like how I want things to happen around me by my words I put out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I realized early on like words are very powerful. You know what I'm saying? And my words can hold some power in music and influence people and family and different topics. Is like it's therapeutic for me, but it's sensitive to other people. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of, I've dealt with that behind the scenes stuff of like maybe saying too much, not want nobody to feel a certain type of way, and whatever the case may be. So I think it's just more like I'm just more aware as far as like how I want things to go, how to make it happen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It all starts with like my words and what I can say, you know, and just, you know, the power of like how you say things and stuff like that. So I think it shaped it in a lot of ways.
And you mentioned before like the whole aspect of legacy, and like that's also in your Instagram handle.
Yeah,
but like,
Vontae's legacy.
yeah, it's like you want to leave something behind, and the music that you create is going to be left behind, you know, and
100%.
and I can see why you would want to create with a lot more intention.
Yeah.
Because you never want to like leave something that you feel like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that's never been like my thing. It's not. It hasn't been my brand. You know, as far as what music is, I think that's one thing about. I've been intentional. You know, a lot over the years, and something I want to keep. You know what I'm saying? And that integrity and keeping that there is just like important. So yeah, but legacy.
Yeah.
It's always been like a thing for me. What's like after this? You know?
Yeah, I feel like you, like, to me, you come off as someone just like very grounded, and like even with like the projects and collaborations you've done over the years, I feel like you kind of planted seeds, and you were like, oh, I'm going to plant seeds with you now because I can see the vision, or I can see the growth that can maybe bear fruit later. Like, you're not immediately getting it right at that moment, and that is hard because that takes a lot of faith. And
100%.
like, how do you feel like you have been able to cultivate that? Because that is a really hard thing for most people to do. Were you always like that? Or
yeah, I think that just comes from like just having like a core, like a belief system. You know what I'm saying? Like really believing in yourself and like getting this confidence, level of confidence instilled in you. That's like, yo, you know, and I pay a lot to like my faith. You know what I'm saying? And believing like God and higher power. And this kind of, you know, really strapping my boots down. Like, yo, like I feel like, you know, I can accomplish these things. And it's kind of sticking to the plan, sticking to the script, as they would say. And it's easier said than done. I think a big part of that, it goes to show what happens with your ecosystem that's happening around you. You know, so I guess me going back and forth, and I guess me being in the space of, you know, commuting to school for so long, and I mean, since an early age, you know, you kind of can see different things and kind of like, okay, I can navigate, you know, and kind of see the playing field. Yeah. And you're able to comprehend it. You find out ways to comprehend it and translate it. You know, and I think that was like the biggest, like, I guess, like the changing point.
Yeah, it's like really inspiring for me because like I just feel like the unknown is scary. Like to be, and like, and kind of diving into something that you can't see what's ahead. Yeah. But I feel like when you take those risks and you just trust your compass, like the best things come out of that. 100%. And sometimes as humans, we fear stepping into it because we're like, but we don't know, but we have no guarantee. But I think the greatest breakthroughs and the greatest opportunities that come your way are when you are like, no, I believe it and I see it and I manifest it and
100%.
just kind of going in.
And I think to piggyback off that, I think another big part of like, to answer your question earlier was when there were just certain things that like I knew I didn't want to deal with anymore. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like I need the situation right here to be better. You know what I'm saying? So I have to like make this work. You feel me? Like I'm not trying to be dealing with X, Y, and Z. I'm not trying to be. I got these emotions pent up. I need to find different ways to. And this was something that done so much for me as far as like music, and it's done enough where it kind of showed me a light where it's like, yo, you can take this kind of, you know what I'm saying, a lot of different places, and it's just like I said, doubling down and strapping down, and because it's just like, yo, there are situations around me that I would love to keep better, you know what I'm saying, or keep in a good stable state, and this is just one thing that's allowed me to see that it's possible. You know what I'm saying? So that played a big part in like the focus of like my belief system and like confidence, because there's like a lot of, and everybody got issues going on in life, but there was a lot of things coming up, a lot of, you know, in life and neighborhood and family thing I was kind of like escape from type shit. So I need to like find my niche and my avenue. You know what I'm saying? So that's a big part of that though too.
And you feel like you found it now?
Yeah, we still. I feel like I have a very, 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 very solid foundation in that for sure. And I'm able to navigate things a lot more clearer and be more favorable, and for sure. I always think there's room to like grow. There's always new things you want to do, and ideas that I have, and new ventures and stuff that I'm tapping into and stuff like that. But as far as like debate, 100% yes, 100%.
music industry, fashion industry, both industries very hard. Like there is a lot of competition, there is a lot of like shadiness, you know, self-serving people and things like that. How do you feel like you cut through that noise, and like how do you feel like you stay grounded in who you are despite that?
High five. Because it's like I've had that before anything, you know. So that was like just like a baby, you know what I'm saying? And kind of like to be in the experience that I've gotten through music and through fashion has been because of this, building this to a point where I was able to get people to believe in it on their radar to kind of take these risks in me and stuff like that. So I think just remembering that, like, yo, like you've been through a lot, you put in a lot of work on yourself, and you've done a lot of work to be in these spaces or kind of, you know, like be here.
Yeah.
And but also, you know, I've always had like, I don't care how small or big it was, like it was mine. You know what I'm saying? It was like, you know, you deal with a world where a lot of things could be stripped or taken, or people kind of try to hold things. You know, this was something that I was like, yo, I believe in, and I built it enough where it was kind of like, it was enough to like give me these opportunities, and I was able to just make the best of them.
Yeah.
You know, so I always pay homage to like my core and my roots, but it's just like I've always tell myself like, yo, like you with these people, and like, but like respectfully, like, you know, you've always had your own goal and plan and like navigating and stuff like that. You know, this wasn't something that I just picked up on. I was 17, 18 talking about this and drawing up and mapping up.
Have you ever had moments through your journey where like you were really tested in terms of like your belief system or your morals because of the industries you were in?
Yes. Excuse me. But yeah, you deal with that a lot, man. A lot of the look, man, I done dealt with like wicked Hollywood producers, and like I'm talking about like that did feature films and try to like a lot of stuff you hear about the industry in Hollywood, man, is real.
Yeah.
I know a lot of it came out with this trial stuff, you know, with you know what we talking about. But yeah, you deal with like a lot of stuff, man. Like mind you, I was a young dude a lot of the times. Like I was younger than even like the TD situation. Like I would take a lot of slack a lot of time from like the older cats in the label. Just for me being like the oldest in the room amongst people, but these are all men that's like got their own ideas and own ways of like moving. But you know, but also like I said, I didn't have the most traditional like story or introduction into the industry. Like, you know, there was a guy, Jeffrey Osborne, as the singer that I was telling you about, who kind of helped us like navigate the industry on a different scale. So a lot of people, a lot of guys, they didn't know how to really like. It's like a hierarchy, you know what I'm saying? A lot of times, stuff like that. So I kind of came up under a different umbrella where it's like I was just kind of free. You feel me? And it wasn't the best situation for a lot of people that kind of was like signed with label to have restraints. I had my own situation that was kind of merging into these new ventures and stuff. So I dealt with like a lot of like ego scrutiny, just different ways. It's just, I think it's a lot I could be a lot to process, or the situation could be a lot to process at the time. Yeah. You know, and it's just different for people. So I find myself having to be a bigger person in a lot of situations. But you definitely deal with it. The industry, it'll you know, people got emotions and people try things, but it's definitely, it's that, and it's the, talk about the crazy people trying to try stuff, or people trying to like, you know, dangle the carrot over you to do X, Y, and Z, man. You get all of it.
You have to have like, first of all, you have to have integrity, but then you have to have a strong backbone, because 100%. That is,
you gotta have it, because it's wicked. Like you see a lot, you hear the stories. I've seen it. I don't have people try. I don't have so many meetings in this, and do it, man. It's you know, you gotta have a good sense of like self, like I said, backbone, integrity, and I pay a lot of homage to like my belief system, and like myself, my faith, and like I said, my high five thing was something that kind of made me think something bigger that's outside of me. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's awesome. Let's kind of pivot into like your music and your EP and just like your creative process. Like what was kind of the inspiration for your latest, it's your latest, right? No Hard Feelings?
No Hard Feelings is, that's a old, it's an older, that's my most recent EP for sure. Yeah. But It's
It's
not
an
my
older
latest.
project.
Huh?
It's an older project.
It's an older
though.
project. Yeah, it's an older project. But it still seems it's still new, huh?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I listened to it recently. You introduced it to me recently, and I really liked it. So just like what was kind of the story behind that, and then if you're saying now that like that's more of an older project, like what is coming up for you?
Yeah. Well, the first question, that was the collab project between my buddy Ken Nana. He's a part of one half of McKenna.
Yeah.
I don't know if we talked about that too. And it was just a idea that we came up with. I believe I had a different project out. I had a mixtape called Self-Explanatory 2, Proper Fortitude, and I was like I did a lot of touring and stuff, exposure with that project, and I had like a sneaker situation deal. But anyways, it was the idea that Ken and them reached out to me like, yo, this was like Ken coming into like music, making one of his first projects, like putting it out like on Apple Music and DSPs and stuff. So he was like, yo, like I'm producing, like I like your music, blah blah blah. Like I would love to like collab and do an EP. Like I'll write to some of my beats or whatever the case may be. Let's do this little thing. So, and I liked where his direction was sonically. You know what I'm saying? It was like very like that next thing that I needed. You know what I'm saying? And tapping into the DSP, because that was my first project that I put on like iTunes and stuff like that though at the time. So it was like a collab effort, man. Reached out. It was ideal. We was in the studio a couple of times together just randomly. Oh, through my buddy. I met him through my buddy Allen, my old DJ Allen. He manages Aaron Ray right now. And,
wow.
Yeah. So this was like my old DJ dude. So I met him. He took me to the studio, and my buddy Noise, shout out C. Roos, and he's a Grammy producer with TDE. He does a lot of that stuff over there. These are all guys I've known for like years. We kind of was coming up together and kind of like vibing and throwing in the mix. But I met Ken through that group. Because my buddy Allen took me there to go to, like, I want you to meet the producers. Like, I want to take you over there to kind of work with them,
Yeah.
And but Ken was coming out. He was working on new music, but he wanted to get more vocalists. He didn't really have like he just produced music. He didn't have vocals yet. I think we was like knocking out tracks like randomly, and I think the first track we did was like Running Out of Time or something. And
I think that's the first track.
Yeah, it's the first track on there, and yeah, we just kind of grew from there, and they had like a whole meeting. They're like, "Yo, we got this whole pitch deck, like, set me down." I'm like, I appreciate it, but I'm like, I rock with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's dope.
You don't have to do all
that.
Yeah,
it's a dope. It feels good. It's a dope experience to have, but people kind of take it that serious. But I'm like, we good. You know what I'm saying? Like, I see the vision though, but that's just the guys that they are. You know what I'm saying? Very like put together, very professional, and I learned so much even with business dealing with them. The brothers, him and his brother, his older brother. So we kind of had this idea, like, no hard feelings, because we was like, yo, this is like about to take us to like another level as far as, that was the whole idea.
Yeah.
It's like whatever it is, like no hard feelings. Like you got to cut people off. You got to like, it's about to open up so many other different doors and avenues, and there's just no hard feelings.
Yeah.
And that's what the whole like premise for the EP was. Yeah, it was like, it was a vibe, and that was kind of like, I think it was my transition from like, because a lot of my old music was like hip hop, like boom bap, like just it was good stuff. Like it was, but a lot of sample based stuff, and like you couldn't, in the sense of like production of movies, like I had to get so many samples cleared, and like my buddies was just kind of like ripping old samples and not clearing them and shit. But this No Hard Feelings was like one project that was like everything was like all original. You know what I'm saying? Like no samples, everything was just pure movie score ready. We could just kind of just market it any way we wanted. You know what I'm saying? Like own all the masters for the stuff and everything, and so it kind of opened that door to kind of explore that space, which was a vibe though, man. But that was that. Shout out to the Nanas and stuff, man.
And so I mean, like we talked about this when we first met, because I am a huge McKenna fan. Like I've listened to them for years. I've even told Mike that like I think their music is so timeless. Like Ken, I think just his production style, which I could hear it in your EP, where it's like he has a very unique way of producing, and it's just like, I don't know, it like is intoxicating in a way. So I'm like, that's so exciting that you guys got to partner.
Yeah, that's my dog.
He's really
That's my dog,
talented.
man.
Yeah.
Like, they're my dogs. We We unlocked in for sure, man. Mike B too. Mike B's
Yeah.
my dog. It's only so many like MCs that like I'll like, you know what I'm saying, like vouch for it. And he's always showed love to my music. He's always never had no egos about it. We always communicated good and well. And we actually have like other songs, an older song what might be that never came out that I have too.
Oh, in the vault.
I think Ken produced that as well. Ken and my buddy MG. So maybe I'll probably send you that just so
Yeah.
he probably like, yo, but yeah, even might be, man. That's always one dude I always like respected his pen, man, and like artists out here, and I'm a fan of McKenna too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, me and Ken's situation, we did what we did. We have other songs in the cut, but it was definitely we accomplished what we needed to for that project.
Yeah. So what's kind of happened like since then? Like what are you working on currently?
Well, I've been recording, like doing new song ideas, project ideas. What I would like to finish up, there's an artist by the name of Kaz. He was signed to Dreamville, one of J. Cole's artists, who I want to like finish up. We've been in talks about different ideas. I have like some ideas of like songs and probably put together another body of work. I want it to be titled Natives and Narratives. So it's probably like I think that's something I want to work on now. I've been kind of getting all the songs finished up in order, like the references, and so that'll be something for like as far as collab with an artist that I think will be dope.
Yeah.
He's been kind of doing his own thing now, and we've been getting closer and just vibing. He's cool peoples, man. So that, but aside from that, also a quick balance and raw talent is like another body of work that I've been trying to put together for like myself for 2026 and finish up a compilation of different songs that I've been working on over the years, and just new stuff too. So I've been recording, like writing new ideas and getting ready to like prep these different things, and it just takes time. Like I'm just not an artist. It's a feel for me. You know what I'm saying? But I have been piecing these different ideas together and these behind the scene things that's happening to kind of roll out. Just enjoy that music space, but also too it's like I want to get things back to like the experience when people come out and experience things, and like like the live show aspects. And it's a big reason why I kind of like took my song off DSPs for a while, because I want to be able to get that grassroots and get people drawn in and come see these experiences live. You know what I'm saying? And even in a sense of business and with merch, and I'm kind of used to that whole like old school grassroots marketing, like impulse buys and stuff like that. Just different. Might have some vinyls. Get some vinyls. That's the plan, to get vinyls and kind of just come experience this in person, and like we'll see where it go from there though, because I think the streaming, it adds that distance. It gets your friends access to the music, but I kind of need people to like be close, and I like having people in like close proximity and like being able to gather them in these spaces and like be a part of these moments that don't mean much now, but it'll make so much sense later down the line.
Okay, so this was something that we actually talked about, like the grassroots kind of thing that you want to do, and I feel like especially in this time where social media is like so rampant and everyone just wants to be like more content, more like access, all of that. How did you kind of mentally get there where you, like, I just feel like, how do I put this? Like, it's hard to remove yourself from that when that's how people access your work. But you were like, no, I'm going to take a step back and go back to like the traditional way. Like, how did you get to that point mentally?
Well, I think I've always been there, because I've just been like a grassroots, like in your face type of artist. Like the social media thing was like never my biggest strong. Like I was out, I was actually doing the shows in here, moving around in the city, and we was actually coming up, putting out mixtapes and printing mixtapes up, and you know what I'm saying. So it's building in people and standing that core, but also like. Online is like, I use it, but it was never like my strongest suit. Like I'm able to like navigate now with like collaboration with other brands that kind of support me and kind of like help me like grow in that space and kind of do these things. But I just like the streets, you know what I'm saying, or being.
I respect that.
You know what I'm saying, like people's faces and stuff. It's just a thing. Like I can deal with those things, and I don't. Maybe it's how I came up, so I prefer it. It's human to human interaction is like important.
It's kind of a lost art, to be honest.
Huh?
It's kind of
it's like a lost art, man. It's just been like it was always my strongest thing. Like, yeah, we got to find ways to navigate in the social media space, which is cool. It's fine. I've been able to do that. I've kind of, but like I said, in collaboration with other brands and different partnerships, and which, you know, there's so much happening now that is still a part of it that I'm in talks with in different ways to kind of grow that. But I just love, throughout all them phone conversations or these video conference meetings with these different brands that's kind of like in different worlds or different parts of the world, and it's important to have like human to human interaction for me as an artist when it comes to like my music and stuff like that. It wasn't a hard decision. It's just like, yo, like I have the energy to kind of like be in these spaces again and like allow these great people that I've been meeting for so long who've been kind of like showing interest in me as a person and as an artist, and like, you know, let's get back to like housing these people, you know what I'm saying, and kind of find like an experience of like, and you know, just re-falling in love with everything again. You know, I took a little break for a minute, got to disconnect, went back, got in touch with my roots and Belize for a little while. So I just found a newfound love for something that I was doing for so long at an early age. It kind of got burnt out, a lot of political stuff. So I just have the energy to put that groundwork in and just get back to like what I'm used to, what I feel most comfortable in, and my people in support feel comfortable in, because we've all, like, these people that have been like supporting me in my corner, we all have a lot of similarities, and this is why we are connected, because we have these interests. You know what I'm saying? And these type of experiences. So it's just catering to like, in business terms, like the market or whatever the case may be though.
I mean, yeah, that's great. And I feel like 2026 is going to be a big year for you. I feel like with all the projects that are happening and
for everybody. I think we kind of talked about that earlier off camera. I think it's gonna be a big year for everybody that's put it in the work.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's just how anything goes, man. You put in the work, and you see the results. And it's just time to like put in like more work. It's still like a funky time though, but we're able to like change the narratives, and like we can. You're able to like shape how you want things to like go for you now. That's one thing about like the internet that I think is dope, because you can control things in your favor. You know, find your niche market and target audience pretty much, and like different ways where you can make it work for you in any climate. You know, so. Yeah, I think 2026 is a big year.
It's the year of the horse. They say that 2025 was year of the snake, where you shed skin, and 2026 is like
a lot of skin shedding this year.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah, a lot of skin shedding.
Is there so with these new projects, and I don't know if you can actually share this, but like, is there a theme that you feel like you have come back to often in your work?
As far as like writing style?
Or like, just
well, I just feel like it's like, because it's just the experiences, you know. I just talk about more experience that I have, more knowledge that I'm able, and like I said, there's things that maybe years ago I wasn't able to comprehend. I find ways to translate them now. There were experiences I probably wasn't able to comprehend that I can translate now. So, you know, life, you know, it's, you know, I have a lot of fun with the guy. You know, just you know, a lot of stuff is like you know, you know, we have a lot of like resources to do kind of a lot, you know, in the city, and mix with a little bit of family, mix with a little bit of love, you know what I'm saying? Reintroducing these topics and things that's your life, but just making it sonically
just a little bit different. Like, it's still your essence.
But it's still my essence, man. Yeah. I can't you know, I just, you know, I like to socialize, I like to be out, you know, I like to make sure everybody around me is cool. I like to, you know, we had experiences. We experienced a lot, you know, so.
Would you say you're extroverted or introverted?
Omnivert.
Oh, okay.
A little bit of both.
Okay, yeah. Fair. I'm both too.
Yeah.
Wait, I've been trying to figure out your sign this whole time, and I think I know, but I don't know.
What do you think it is?
I feel like it's either a Virgo or Capricorn.
Oh, you probably you close, but those are some of my favorite. Those two signs are like the most people I have in my life. That's like my best friends and stuff.
Okay.
But I tell you, you want to guess again.
Well, I feel like you were about to say something with a P. So you're a Pisces.
I'm a Pisces.
Wow.
I'm a Pisces. You got a problem with Pisces?
No, okay. I would not get that at all.
Pisces.
Are you an emotional do you feel like you're an emotional person?
Very emotional, yeah.
Really? I mean, I feel like it would only.
I'm in tune. I'm in tune.
I feel like it would come out in your music, but maybe not just like if I were to just meet you, like I wouldn't get that vibe.
Oh no. Just see that goes like to like having reservations and kind of like knowing how to navigate and kind of just reading the room. So I kind of can probably be more standoffish and kind of, I don't know,
Observant.
Yeah, for sure, 100%. Because it's just like, I mean, everybody experienced stuff, you know.
Yeah.
It was you know, a lot of the times it's a time where like, you know, a lot, even in LA, it's like, you know, experiences. You deal with people that may know a lot more about you than you know about them. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So that opens you up to like, and that was an experience that I had early on too, with dealing with people that I dealt with, because they had big platforms and people that know a lot more about you than you know about them. Yeah. And it kind of just, you kind of built this shell of like, you got to read the room, man. You got to scale things out a little bit. Yeah. You know, you can't just go into stuff like, not everybody had the best intentions.
I feel like you can feel energy really well.
100%.
Yeah, I think
so,
that's a skill.
For sure. I'm definitely the energy filler.
Do you believe in like
something's off? Maybe call it paranoia or whatever the case may be though, but my antennas is doing what they supposed to be doing. 100%.
Yeah, I think that's a skill, and it's so important to have, especially in the work that you do. Yeah. Okay, so like with just because I feel like you're a real creative in a lot of different avenues, like do you feel like you have a certain creative process, like in the way that you move through the work that you do?
I mean, just live. I just live and just take things for what it is. You know what I'm saying? Whatever the situation may be, just, you know, what goes up must come down, and, you know, what's down can't stay down forever. You know what I'm saying? Or somebody got to pick it up at some point in time. But it's just living. It's just simple as that. Like, and, you know, I do as much living as I could and just taking things for no matter challenging obstacles, no matter what. I'm just kind of just, you know, and finding ways to just navigate that and put some sounds behind it and maybe, you know, touch somebody, get somebody else through something that they don't know how to navigate that hurdle. You know, so when you experience, you know, when you experience in life and kind of become numb in some areas, or you can feel more in these areas, it kind of puts you on like this even playing field, you know, and it just, I just live as simple as that and just take whatever it is as it comes as a lesson and just keep moving from there and make the best out of it. I always want to look at the glass like half full rather than like half empty. That's how I want to like keep things, but it's just living. That's part of my creative process. And then whenever I'm ready to like, I've done so much, I've consumed so much information, I've done all these little experiences. It's like, all right, let's see a way I can take all the different ideas and experiences and kind of like suppress them in like 3 minutes, 2 minutes. You know what I'm saying? And like make it like tasteful for like the listener. You feel me? And that's kind of what helps it. So, but I have to start with like a source of different. I got to be outside. I got to kind of be in a mix of things. And kind of, you know what I'm saying?
So you're not really someone who's like, I need to go into the studio and be in there for like 12 hours until I make something.
Only because I only record when I feel like it's necessary. When I've consumed enough information or stuff out in the world, or traumas, whatever the case may be, then I'm like, I gotta get in the studio. But day to day, it's like like I'm like dealing with so many other things, because a lot of the times in like music, if I'm doing stuff for like other brands or with other companies, that doesn't involve like my music. It involves like my brain and kind of just me physically being there helping these different things navigate, or ambassador work, or I have like a men's mental health house that I'm running now with like my auntie. You know what I'm saying? So that is like different things that I tap into that doesn't involve. I mean, I can tie my music in with them, though, but it's so much like bigger than me as an individual. Once I do stuff like this and I'm learning different things, I'm like, yo, I want to record. I feel like being back in that space of like music. Then I'm like, I got like a block studio schedule of like 24 hours or something like that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'm just there just like cranking out everything that I've like done and kind of putting together this new world, or this not new world, but this old world that I'm kind of ready to navigate in again. You know what I'm saying? So, but like I said, I've ventured out in so many ways from music, but it's still like my core of what everything come from.
Are you the type that like, let's say something happens and it's like super raw, like it just happened and like you're like feeling it all. Do you feel like you like to make the music right then and there, or are you someone who likes to like sit with it and then revisit it?
Yeah, I have like I store it in like my lyric bank. You know, I got a bank that is like, all right, this is something I can talk about. You know, this is something I feel like, because it's all like, it has to. Whenever I want people to listen to my music, I need them like sensory overload in a sense. That sounds kind of like crazy. It's like I'm trying, like, I want to make a point out of everything.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like, yo, like, I want you to really feel this and like understand. I want you to be with me in that moment of these emotions or whatever may happen. Though. So I'll store things, and because just that one part, that one little line, that situation doesn't always make a full song. You still have to fill it in with other pieces and other avenues. But also, it depends on the artist you are. Like me, I like painting pictures. I can jump from like, my challenge is jumping from one subject to the next subject, but making it two different topics, but it's a graceful transition where it's like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what I like to find, ways of fusing these different worlds that I've been a part of, which are polar opposites in a lot of ways, and just finding them, you know, them smooth blends that can, because that's really what like captures like listeners and stuff like that.
I mean, that is like the beauty and the art form of like creating like an EP or an album. It's like what works together, and like maybe the overall theme could be similar, but it's not necessarily like each song is exactly the same kind of topic. It's just like marrying all of that together. Yeah. Besides, like, you know, you said like a lot of your influence and stuff comes from just living life, right? Is there someone in your life that you feel like has influenced you, or is there, I guess, tangible things you pull inspiration from?
Well, I think it goes back to like just like, I don't know, I guess people around me, like friends and family. I think those are like the things that really like shaped a lot of my narratives, things we experienced together. You know what I'm saying? That's mainly like, in a nutshell, I guess I can say that. Nothing.
Do you have like other forms of media that you like pull from, like whether that's like movies or
movies, books? I've read a lot of books. I mean, okay, so stuff like that. Yeah, like reading. I love documentaries. Like, I consume a lot of like different things. I'm like a sponge. We all are stuff for real. Like, so, but documentaries, like there's like some books that I've read that was like very impactful books over the years that kind of helped shape who I was, that I read at an early age, that kind of helped shape me to when I was able to, you know, start writing. Those books helped me get there. So I'm more of like a quality over quantity dude. You know what I'm saying? So like quality, like I got it tatted on me, quality control. You know what I'm saying? So that's a thing that's kind of big for me. So yeah, it's inspiration is more of things of like good substance and quality that it come from. And I think you get a lot of that in the family. You get a lot of that in friends. You can a lot of that in like books. A lot of that in these documentaries, or just, you know, this information that, you know, I kind of thrive on like topics and stuff that, you know, if like Snapple facts. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's these,
I haven't heard that in so long.
You know them things that, like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's just information. Oh, I know I need to know that. You know?
Yeah.
Stuff like that though. Yeah. But it's kind of a vibe where like life lessons in that I kind of try to incorporate that gets me going.
You're just staying curious through. Yeah.
Not too crazy, but you got 2025 or 2020. You got to be careful these days, man. But yeah, we definitely open. We're open to a lot of ideas and, you know, concepts of things for sure.
Yeah. This is a kind of big question. What does success look like to you?
Well, success to me, it's keeping a clear mind first and foremost. I think a lot of success is based off of like your mental health. We can thrive in that space, and everything else follows. And just being able to, like, I don't know if we're making about like material things and stuff like that though too. That's not. I mean, being resourceful is very good. You know what I'm saying? To be able to kind of move and navigate how you want to navigate and have these outlets and stuff, but it's not everything. But I think you're successful when you're like true to yourself in all forms.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And just making decisions, being able to make decisions that you feel are healthy for you, and that's it. It could seem a little selfish and stuff like that, but you kind of got to take you serious before anything else around you becomes serious or would take you serious. You know what I'm saying? So,
100%.
That's just that.
Yeah. And this is another kind of loaded question, but like, what do you feel like when you look at your life and the legacy you leave behind? Like, what do you feel is like your purpose?
My purpose in all of that, after leaving my legacy behind,
I guess it's tied to it, right?
Yeah. I like to consider myself in a realm like an educator. So I think it's like if I've got to experience so much, you know what I'm saying? I know there's people where I'm from who didn't get the experience. So me being a form of like a resource of like information and kind of like, I think my purpose is like, like I wasn't selfish with these experiences or these things that I was able, you know what I'm saying? Like to come across and be a part of, and just leaving information behind for generations to come. So I think my purpose more is just realizing that like, you're somebody who probably come from like a place of wisdom and like perspective. Having perspective is like a lot of perspective. And to hold to all to yourself sounds mental in itself to kind of do that, because it's a lot of information. You know what I'm saying? So to not share that and not feel like, I feel like I need that to be my purpose as far as, leaving behind these things that I've learned and experienced, and for the people who take to them, and there's people who need them, you know what I'm saying, who need these stories or need these ideas or need to know that these outlets are even there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Just falling in line of like, I played a good part in like shaping a narrative for something or someone down the line.
Yeah, that's good. That's really good. In this season kind of your life, like, what are you most looking forward to, but also like what is really fulfilling you?
I feel like, I think I'll tell you about the just having, this men's mental health house and facility that's operating, and just kind of like, I think men's mental health is like mental health in general though. And just kind of, I think I'm excited to kind of like explore these spaces and try to see if I can leave my mark on people that may be dealing with drug issues and mental health issues, and because we've all dealt with it, you know what I'm saying? Like, I've come from it, our family, and just being able to provide or help people find different outlets, to deal with issues that they may be dealing with internally. So it's kind of a pipe dream, but that's like another mission. I like a challenge. You feel me? And it's just been like a new challenge of like, because music, I can navigate it how I kind of want to now. I kind of can dig and dive on how I want to do it. It's like a new space that's like, it kind of puts me back in that realm of like still accomplishing my goals, but a big part of me likes to like, see what I can like help with in some ways and stuff.
Yeah, it's bigger than you.
And
that's
so
really beautiful.
it's a lot of that, but I gotta find a good balance with that. But I think that's like one thing I'm excited to like, because it's also too like, it's a good like decompression from like the entertainment space, you know what I'm saying? From like dealing with like these bigger brands and like these bigger artists and like music and stuff. It's just, I've done it for so long, you know what I'm saying? So it's just good to kind of have these different outlets and different ventures and avenues to kind of like take you away and do something totally different, you know what I'm saying?
I think that also like keeps you grounded in a lot of ways.
100%, yeah.
Yeah, that's really beautiful. Honestly, I feel like mental health is something that, especially as time goes on, it's like such an important thing. And I feel like men especially have a harder time kind of tapping into their emotions and like their vulnerabilities. And I think it's so important.
Yeah, and it's okay, man, y'all. It's okay. We're going to get you through this. It's okay, man.
Yeah, that's amazing. Okay, I have some more fun, like rapid fire kind of questions. Who's the biggest artistic influence? Like, sorry, my mic was far.
Okay.
Or maybe like your favorite artist. That might be really hard, but
J. Cole's one of my favorite artists.
oh my gosh, He's my favorite rapper.
J. Cole.
I love J.
I actually got to
Cole.
meet him too early on. I did a show at UCLA early on when he got the bald head and stuff like that.
Please tell me he's cool because like I love him so much.
I do cool, man. And
Okay.
I had him sign a dollar bill of mine.
Do you still have it?
No, I lost it a long time ago. I hate that. Yeah, I lost it a long time ago. But I had him sign a dollar bill. I got a picture of it somewhere. But that's all. I don't have a dollar bill anymore. That was years ago. But shout out. I think J. Cole was a big part of my influence musically for sure. As far as like, I mean, him, Nas too, you know. But it just, I felt more in our time generation where he allowed that freedom and like knowledge to kind of like merge together, and it made a lot of sense in some areas.
Yeah.
But I would say probably J. Cole for sure.
I also feel like J. Cole's just always been someone that's like stayed grounded and rooted.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, like not about all the noise and like all the flashiness.
Yeah,
of,
he fell victim to some things for sure though.
Yeah.
But I think that's one person that kind of like, if I can like sum up like experience wise, is like I can relate. You know what I'm saying, to his back and forth worlds and kind of be in that space. So I would say J. Cole for sure.
Nice.
Over the top.
What's the most overrated piece of advice that artists get?
The most overrated piece of advice? Wow. Overrated piece of advice? That's a tricky one.
That's a tricky one?
Yeah. What's the most overrated piece of advice?
That is kind of hard, huh?
Yeah. It's a good, I kind of want to come back to that one.
Okay, let's come back to that one. Song of yours that new listeners who have never heard you before should start with.
Well, I got stuff on YouTube still.
Because you took everything like down.
Well, I got stuff on YouTube and like
Right,
SoundCloud.
yeah.
I just out the DSPs and stuff though. It's too much stuff to take off on my YouTube and videos and stuff. But we going down the catalog. I'm sorry about that. What would I say? Songs that they.
If they've never heard you before, you're like, yeah, listen to this song. Well, actually, for me, you were like, listen to this EP.
Yeah. This is No Hard Feeling. I think it's because of the whole Mike B and McKenna knowing them or knowing who Kid was.
Yeah.
I would say I have very good bodies of work. So I would say my SC2PF project sums up my whole life. That's like, that was like from 2012. And that was kind of like the project that kind of from top to bottom was like, broke down everything. You know what I'm saying? So if you want to get to know me, I would say that.
What's your go-to comfort food?
My go-to comfort food?
Yeah.
Probably spaghetti. I like spaghetti.
Classic.
I like spaghetti.
One word friends would use to describe you.
One word friends would use to describe me. Probably a couple words.
I'll give you a couple.
That friends would use?
Yeah.
Enthusiastic, loving. But also like, you know, I can, you know, a little firecracker at times, you know.
A little feisty?
I mean, a little you know, I think there's a lot of great things about me, for sure. But I think a lot will pay with like, a lot will be said as far as like, just the knowledge on things or like wisdom aspect of things. If we had to, I think that's like a focal point where if that's a serious question, I can hear my friends be like, oh, well, you're very like a smart, very intelligent individual.
What do you do when you are stuck creatively?
Nothing. Nothing at all. When you stuck, sometimes the best thing to do is just sit in it and let it be what it's gonna be.
Yeah.
It's not meant to be. If I'm, just go do something else. You know, if I had them writer's block moments, and it just that just ain't it. Like it sucked, but what could you stuck?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like what could you do? Like, you feel me? Like, can't do nothing. I'm stuck.
Now I'm seeing the Pisces, the flow of just like letting life be.
Yeah, man. I know I know that give people probably so much anxiety, but it's just like
it does. Like I
Yeah.
think like even I'm in the creative industry, and it's like you get into this place where like you're so hard on yourself, and I'm like, it doesn't serve you.
Yeah.
Like it really doesn't.
You're always going to be your worst critic. That's one thing you got. That's why it's good to like put your art in front of people, because you're always going to criticize yourself. Once you understand that and kind of can live with that, it's like, yo, it kind of forces you to kind of think outside of yourself and, you know, just put it out there. If they don't like it, it's not for them. There's a niche market for everything and every person out here, and the internet made that so much easier.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can literally target market and target audience to cater people that's gonna cater to you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like if you think about it that much, but that's why you just put it out there. If they don't like it, it ain't for them. That's fine.
What's something that you believed, like when you were younger, like 18, that changed that you don't think that way now?
I think I probably was more naive as far as like not everybody have your best intentions, or probably thinking that people could be people that could fit the image or love their image could be loving, come off as loving, but they're not. It just caused me to be more alert with like people and the energies around me and stuff like that. For sure. I think learning the industry early on, I was just kind of just in it. I'm a newer artist, and I mean, I've had a lot of good foundational things that kind of I grew up that was instilled in me, you know. But I'm kind of like I fell victim to a lot of things of like I'm an artist, but I'm like working with people that I was actually fans of. You know what I'm saying? So I'm with these people that I'm fans of now. So, but a lot of people can like take that and do the wrong with it. You know what I'm saying? And kind of use it to their favor. So it's probably, you know, I'm kind of more reserved, but it's kind of, you know, just stay in your lane. Just stay in your lane, man. It's so cliche, but just stay in my lane.
Yeah, yeah. Do you want to go back to that other question?
Oh, the most overrated piece of advice? I don't know. You might have got me on that one.
That's so fine.
Because all advice could be good advice in some way, but I wouldn't say. Because I feel like if somebody's giving you advice on something, maybe it's coming from like a place of like experience and like there's some substance there, you know?
Yeah. Or let's flip it then. What's like the best piece of advice you've gotten?
The best piece of advice that I've probably gotten as an artist is like, it's always remain you. Just do what's like true to you, what you feel is like right for you. And which, you know, it falls into that, you know, if it's not. And also too, it goes back to this, like no matter what numbers, what people, you'd be surprised, people always listening. You know what I'm saying? Like I think it was a big time where I got discouraged about like it don't matter about that stuff. Like this, people see what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Like I think that the biggest issue is like people may not always know how to translate and respond to what you're doing. It takes them time, but they know and see what's going on.
Yeah. Oh,
for sure.
That's good. That's really good. I think it's hard not to, in this climate, to not chase the numbers or to like see that as your success. But I think with art or music especially, like for me, I'm like I love music so much, but like I tap into like every kind of genre. Truly, like my friends kind of make fun of me because I really like pop and stuff like that. But then I'm so curious about so many different types of music, and so my library is actually quite large.
Same.
But I think it's like what I love about music is like you can find an artist like some random on your Spotify Discover Weekly that just popped up, and that their lyrics or the melody or just the song in its entirety can resonate so deeply with you, and they could be like an artist that has like a couple thousand listeners, you know. And I think that's like the most fun aspect of discovering
them hidden
music.
gems.
I actually just like recently found like a London-based DJ that like I've been obsessed with, and I would have never known, you know. So I think it's really great that you have that kind of outlook, like somebody somewhere around the world is tapping in and it's meaningful to them.
I've talked to people from different areas across the world, you know. I have fans and people that's supported from different areas. So early on I've no matter if it was 1, 2, 3, it's happened, you know what I'm saying. These are people that's been in tune and been riding. So it's also advice that, I mean, it shows the power of the internet and the music, but I only speak from experience, you know. And it's things I experienced, and even more so now. Like I said, I have been a part of like some pretty big entities in the world, you know. So getting that exposure alongside them and being with them, you kind of see these things, you know. But for my music, personally, with my music, I've gotten to experience those conversations and in relationships with people from these, you know, different walks of life who've tapped in, and you know, the outreach and, you know, the different playlists and whatever the case may be, or just people that's saw me out here that was traveling at a show and went back home that wasn't from here, you know. So
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all from experience though, vibes.
Yeah. One thing you're proud of, but you don't say enough.
I think I'm a lot less reactive and like poised, you know.
Like water.
Like water. That's flow like water. Yeah, that, you know, I feel like I come a long way as far as like reaction time and being my reactiveness to things and kind of like impulsive. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
With things. So yeah, I pay homage to that, man. You know, I ain't really had to no headlocks or nothing in a long time or nothing like that. But we're keeping it cool. But nah. But it's keeping like poise and like this is like a good foundation and stuff like that of trying to keep a good system around me.
Yeah.
That I want to stay in a good light in that area, you know.
Yeah, you have a very calming energy, actually.
People tell me that a lot. Yeah. I got like a little radio voice and all that. Please tune in.
Really?
Love radio. But no, I pay homage to that a lot too.
Yeah.
To my mother's a psych therapist too, so I got exposed to like a lot of therapy early on.
That's
you know,
good.
for stuff I was dealing with coming up, issues, and my mother got into that space for the fact of wanting, you know what I'm saying? Know to have her kid to have different outlets and from the stuff we were dealing with, or even, you know, at the time. So I think I just learned how to navigate a lot of emotions, and I felt like I realized it was a bigger issue for people a lot of the times because a lot of people weren't able to do that.
Yeah.
You know, so that goes back to like, you know, being able to allow people in those spaces and being able to give off, you know, let people know what I've learned of kind of my experiences to kind of help them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
But I that's a lot of early counseling and a lot of music.
But honestly, that takes you so far. Like, you're right. A lot of people don't know how to channel their emotions, and they don't know how to express their emotions in like a really raw and honest way. And then it just sits in your body. And like, I'm super about like energy, and so I feel like if you don't have an outlet or a way to release that, it stays dormant in you, and then it affects every avenue of your life. And I feel like people who have the abilities and the resources and the tools to be able to like know how to navigate that is like one of the strongest qualities.
It's
truly,
man. It's everything. Like this like the strongest muscle in your body. Your brain, man. Like that's the biggest muscle, man. It's important. You can't always control it, but it's good to know some different ways. And I've learned, you know, I had to go to therapy early on for traumatic things in childhood. But like I said, as I got older, I got comfortable in this space and know that there's people just like you. You're not the only one dealing with these things and blah, blah. And like I said, I got to a point where I realized I was kind of able to navigate these emotions and know, you know, that it's okay. But there's a lot of people that didn't, they never, you know what I'm saying, even considered it being a thing or even knew it was a thing or was introduced to it. So I kind of understand I got privilege, and that goes back to say as far as like what my motive and a lot of times in my mission in life and me being put in these different areas, no matter how early on I went through things, is I want them early on so I can be able to like navigate myself and probably people later on in life and kind of let them know it's okay, because it's people need support systems.
And
you know,
encourage them. Then you can encourage them through your experience.
And it's all how you like talk to people, and kind of I'm able to relate to like so many different demographics.
Yeah,
I can talk to my homies on the block and get through to them, you know what I'm saying, in a way that maybe somebody from home probably couldn't. You know what I'm saying? And if I got to go over here and adapt to a situation, that kind of I can do that as well. You know, so it's all about perspective. I think it's important, man, and it plays a big factor in like what I think my role in life is to this day from my experiences and stuff like that. But
that's awesome.
Yeah, definitely.
That's really beautiful. It's like I feel like that's your calling.
That's a violin. Like, how you do it?
The little violin.
Yeah, that's a violin.
No, but that's really. I feel like, you know, people have certain callings in their life, and they're put in situations in their life for a reason. And I think for you, having the experiences that you have is truly to be a light to somebody else, or
Yeah.
to resonate with somebody else, or be someone that can be like an anchor or a form of inspiration. And especially you being in music or fashion in these like very public spaces, it's like you're gonna meet a lot of different kinds of people.
Yep.
Versus someone who's like in an office job, like. And so I think that was part of your calling and your purpose.
Yeah, but having good office structure isn't bad though too.
That's no 100%, 100%, 100%.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I got a little office experience from the showroom and stuff, the fashion stuff though, but it's good.
Yeah.
It's a good balance, man. You want to get as much experiences in life as you want, man.
Yeah,
for sure.
100%.
And if you can have something to pour those experiences into at the end of the day, that's even better. But live, laugh, love.
Okay, my last question for you is,
What is?
so this will come out in 2026, so we're in a new year. What would you say is like the one word that you want to think or define in your 2026? Or what's a word that encompasses your year?
Completion. And persistence. It'll be those two words. I think I'm just here to like amplify so many different things I've already done and started,
Yeah.
and it's just taking them things to like whatever other levels they can, just completing the task at hand. That's always gonna be like the goal for me, and stand on top of it, because my mission hasn't changed for anything. Like I've been blessed to experience a lot, but there's still so much more life to experience.
Yeah.
There's still so much different conversations I'm having behind the scenes about this, and different ideas, and entities that want to be involved, that's open to like working, and even friends. So just keeping an eye on the task at hand, and just completion, and probably staying persistent on everything too.
Yeah. I'm excited for your 2026. I feel like there's going to be a lot coming, and I'm going to be tuning in and tapping in. And it's been such an honor to have you come on.
Thank you for having me.
I appreciate you so much.
Thank you so much.
You are welcome anytime.
I'm welcome anytime. Y'all hear that?
He'll be back. He'll be back.
Yeah. I appreciate this. This is a vibe, and I wonder what's the same for you. What you're doing is amazing, and you're gonna kill it.
Thank
Keep
you.
killing it, because you're
Thank
already
you.
doing it though. But shout out to that.
So much.
Y'all see it,
All
man.
right. See you next time.
Peace to the Middle
Bye.
East.